It's World Mental Health Day, the day when social media feeds turn into therapy rooms, celebrities post deep quotes they didn't write, and politicians pretend to care. Your timeline is flooded with inspirational slogans, peaceful backgrounds, and hashtags about self-care and breaking the stigma. But beneath all the polished words and perfect selfies, something feels off, doesn't it? Something hollow. Something that doesn't quite match the noise we heard, or rather, didn't hear, when it actually mattered most. Because here's the truth, during the darkest days of the lockdowns, when mental health truly collapsed for millions, these same voices were silent. Completely silent. The same influencers who now tell you to speak your truth were too afraid to speak theirs. The same organizations preaching about checking on your friends were cashing government checks and following orders without a whisper of dissent. Back then, when isolation destroyed lives, when depression spiked, when people couldn't see their families, the silence was deafening. And now, those same people have the audacity to act like experts on your emotional well-being. They share Anthony Hopkins quotes, they post about staying positive, and they talk about how much they care. But where was that care when people were losing everything? Where was the compassion when millions were told they couldn't even attend funerals? When elderly people sat alone for months? When small businesses crumbled under endless restrictions? Silence. Bought, filtered, and packaged neatly under stay home, save lives. It's a bitter pill to swallow, isn't it? The truth that mental health isn't just about words, it's about courage. And courage is exactly what most of these so-called advocates lacked. It's easy to post a quote. It's easy to talk about anxiety in front of a camera when you know it'll get likes. But it's hard, truly hard, to speak when it might cost you your career, your sponsorships, or your social approval. That's when we see who actually cares, and who's just cashing in on care. Let's not forget the numbers that no one wants to talk about. Record levels of depression, self-harm among teenagers skyrocketing, anxiety disorders multiplying. These weren't random spikes, they were direct results of policies pushed and praised by the same people now preaching mental health awareness. The double standards couldn't be louder if they tried. One day they're silent when people are suffering, the next, they're trending with hashtags about healing. And here's where it gets even darker, because this isn't just hypocrisy, it's business. Mental health has become a marketing tool, a way to boost engagement, sell products, and polish personal brands. Every corporation wants to join the conversation now, from fast food chains to government agencies. But when real conversations were needed, when people begged for connection during lockdown, those conversations were banned. Literally banned. And yet, here we are, told to share your story. So, to all those posting their pearls of wisdom today, here's a question: what's changed? What makes your advice worth listening to now, when it meant nothing when the world was breaking? The truth is, words without integrity are just noise. And no matter how many hashtags you throw on a post, you can't erase the silence that came when people needed you most. World Mental Health Day should be more than a trend. It should be a reminder that mental health isn't a once-a-year campaign or a marketing slogan. It's about honesty. It's about standing up when it's uncomfortable. It's about having the guts to speak when everyone else is too afraid. Real awareness doesn't need filters, funding, or fame. It needs truth. And that's why this day should belong to the ordinary people, not the polished public figures. To the ones who checked in on a friend when no one else did. To the ones who spoke out when silence was safer. To the ones who actually felt the weight of the world and still carried on. Those are the true advocates. Those are the real voices that matter. So as you scroll through your feed today, remember, mental health isn't about how pretty your post looks. It's about what you stood for when things got ugly. The next time someone preaches awareness, ask yourself, where were they when awareness was needed most? Because if silence can be bought, then truth is the only thing left worth fighting for. And that's exactly what we'll keep doing, right here. Stay tuned. Analysts now say this confrontation may reshape the relationship between Buckingham Palace and Westminster for years to come. While the monarchy is supposed to remain above politics, the power of influence, quiet, moral, and symbolic, has always lingered in the background. Charles, unlike his late mother, is known for his opinions, especially on social issues and climate change. That personality, they say, makes this moment particularly explosive. He's not just sitting silently on the throne, one royal historian explained. He's letting politicians know, this isn't the old monarchy anymore. In the midst of it all, foreign media outlets have joined in, describing the situation as a defining test for the British system. American and European news networks have aired the story with dramatic headlines, calling it the Royal Rebellion. Political cartoonists wasted no time, depicting Starmer kneeling before the king's shadow with the caption, "Know your place." Even critics of the monarchy admit, King Charles's response has been masterful in its subtlety, not a single direct insult insult, yet the message was received loud and clear. As the tension continues to build, both sides have gone quiet. The palace has refused further comment, while Starmer's office has cancelled multiple public appearances. Inside Westminster, whispers of resignation circulate, not of Starmer's position, but of his credibility. Has he permanently damaged his relationship with the crown? And what happens if this quiet storm escalates into open defiance between Parliament and the palace? Tonight, Britain stands at a crossroads, a nation torn between tradition and modern politics, between respect and rebellion. And as the world watches, one question lingers in every conversation: will Keir Starmer swallow his pride and make peace with the monarchy, or will he push forward and risk igniting a constitutional crisis unlike any in living memory? Because if he dares to keep challenging the king, this won't just be political theater anymore, it could be the moment history turns on its head.